Hello everybody, I'm Miguel Sanchez coming to you from Visalia, California, our brand new home on Tipton Street, to be exact, and welcome to episode 36 of Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios. And boy, it's going to be a whole lot of fun, my friends, because we're heading to China for this next episode. That's right, for today's episode. That's because we're about to meet a legend, a true Chinese legend that no one has ever heard of. Be on the lookout for our next Movie History video coming soon over on the DreamWorks animation side, which will be about Over the Hedge. So be on the lookout for that coming soon. But today it's all about Walt Disney Animation Studios, and for today's episode, we're about to meet a Chinese legend you've never heard of before. So if you're ready, let's do it. For today's episode, we are taking a look at Mulan. That's right, this is episode 36 of Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios, and we're almost at the end of the 1990s. That's right, we're almost out of the 1990s, and soon we'll be in the 2000s. I can't wait for it. It's gonna be amazing. I'm so excited, my friends. And unfortunately, though, the Disney Renaissance is almost over, my friends. We're down to the final two movies in the Disney Renaissance. I can't wait to review with you guys today. So for those who haven't seen episode 35, we did an episode a couple of weeks ago. It was about Hercules. So you haven't seen it yet, go watch it right now. The link to the video is up there at the top right corner of the screen, so click on the link and check it out right now. Otherwise, sit back and let's see what Mulan can do for you. You ready? Here we go. So, about the movie. Mulan is a 1998 American animated musical adventure film produced by Walt Disney Feature Animation for Walt Disney Pictures. It is based on the Chinese legend of Hua Mulan and was Disney's 36th animated feature film, the 9th animated film produced and released during the Disney Renaissance. It was directed by Tony Bancroft and Barry Cook, with story by Robert D. Sansochi and screenplay by Rita Hisao, Philip Lezebnik, Chris Anders, Eugenia Bostwick-Singer, and Raymond Singer. Now, when Andy Murphy, Miguel Ferrer, and B.D. Wong star in the English version, while Jackie Chan provided the voice of Captain Li Shang for the Chinese dubs of the film. The film's plot takes place in China during the Han Dynasty. Oh boy, citation needed. Where Fa Mulan, daughter of age warrior Fa Zhou, impersonates a man to take her father's place during a general conscription to counter a Han invasion. Produced and released during the Disney Renaissance, Mulan was the first of three features produced primarily at the Disney Animation Studio at Disney MGM Studios, now Disney Hollywood Studios, in Lake Buena Vista, Florida. The development for the film began in 1994, when a number of artistic supervisors were sent to China to receive artistic and cultural inspiration. Mulan was well received by critics and the public, who praised the animation, plot, characters, particularly the eponymous character, and musical score. It grossed over $304 million. It earned a Golden Globe and Academy Award nomination and won several Annie Awards, including Best Animated Feature. It was then followed by Mulan 2 in 2004, a direct-to-video sequel. A live-action adaptation directed by Nikki Caro was released on September 4th, 2020. So there you go, my friends. Let's take a look at the movie stats. Directed by Barry Cook, screenplay Barry Cook and Tony Bancroft. Screenplay by Rita Hisao, Philip Lezebnik, Chris Anders, Eugenia Bostwick-Singer, and Raymond Singer. Story by Robert D. Sansucci, based on Ballad of Mulan by Guo Maoxin. Produced by Pam Coates, starring Ming Na Wen, Eddie Murphy, B.D. Wong, Miguel Ferrer, June Foray, James Hong, Pat Morita, and George Takei. Edited by Michael Kelly. Music by Dre Goldsmith. Production companies are Walt Disney Pictures and Walt Disney Feature Animation. Distributed by Buena Vista Pictures. Release date is June 19, 1998. Running time is 87 minutes. Country is United States. Language is English. Budget $90 million. And the box office $304.3 million. So you guessed it right. Now let's get into the plot of the film. Here I go, guys. The Huns, who are led by the ruthless Shan Yu, invade Imperial Han China by breaching the Great Wall in the Imperial City. The Emperor orders a general mobilization with conscription notices requiring one man from each family to join the Imperial Chinese Army. To the south, Fa Mulan is an adventurous and active young woman who, to the dismay of her family, who hope for her to bring honor to the family. She has arranged to meet a matchmaker to demonstrate her fitness as a future wife, but following a few mishaps, the matchmaker deems her a disgrace to the family. Mulan's elderly father, Fa Shu, the only man in their family and an army veteran, is conscripted into the army. She tries to dissuade him from going, but he protests that he must do his duty. Fearing for his life, she cuts her hair and takes her father's sword and armor, disguising herself as a man so that she can enlist in his stead. Quickly learning of her dispute, Mulan's grandmother prays to the family's ancestors for Mulan's safety. In the local temple, Mushu, a small red dragon, is a disgraced former family guardian who is demoted to the role of awakening the spirits of the ancestors. The great ancestors decide that the most powerful of all, a massive stone dragon guardian, should guide Mulan and sends Mushu to wake him. After accidentally destroying the guardian's statue, Mushu travels to Mulan's aid himself, desiring to redeem himself to the ancestors by making Mulan a war hero. Oh boy, this is not gonna be good. Reporting to the training camp, Mulan passes as a man named Fa Ping, with Mushu providing encouragement and clumsy guidance throughout her deception. Under the command of Captain Li Shang, she and her fellow recruits, including Yao, Ling, and Shi Po, gradually become trained soldiers, but the Emperor's belligerent council, Shifu, threatens to dissuade the Emperor from allowing Shang's men to fight. Mushu then crafts a fake letter from Shang's father, General Li, ordering Shang to follow the main Imperial army into the mountains. The reinforcements set out and arrive at a burnt village, discovering that the Huns have massacred General Li and his troops. As the soldiers march up a mountain pass, they are ambushed by the Huns. Mulan cleverly uses a Hulong Chu Sui cannon to cause an avalanche, which buries the entire Hun army. Shan Yu wounds Mulan during the battle, and her deception is revealed when the wound is bandaged. Instead of executing Mulan as the law requires, Shang spares her life and expels her from the army. Mulan is left behind as the other soldiers depart from the imperial city to report the Huns' defeat. However, Shan Yu and several of his warriors have survived, and Mulan sees them heading towards the city. Okay, that's good. I love it. Mulan enters the city and warns Shang. The Huns then capture the Emperor and seize the palace. Mulan, Yao, Ling, Chipo, and Chang enter the palace and defeat Shang Yu's men. Shang prevents Shang Yu from assisting the Emperor, and Mulan lures the Hun leader onto the roof, where she pins him there with his own sword. Acting on Mulan's instructions, Mushu fires a large skyrocket at Shang Yu. The rocket strikes and propels Shang Yu into a fireworks launching tower, where he dies in the resulting explosion. The Emperor initially reprimands Mulan, but then he and the city's assembled inhabitants praise her for having saved them, and they bow to her in honor. She accepts the Emperor's crest and Shang Yu's sword as gifts, but politely declines his offer to be on his royal castle and asks to return to her family. Mulan returns home and sends these gifts to her father, but he is happy to have her back. Having become enamored with Mulan, Shang also arrives and accepts her invitation to stay for dinner. Mushu is reinstated as a Fa family guardian as the ancestors celebrate. Alright! That's it for the plot. Now let's get into the voice cast of the film. Ming-Na Wen as Fa Mulan, singing voice provided by Lea Salonga. Eddie Murphy as Mushu. B.D. Wong as Captain Li Shang, singing voice provided by Donny Osmond. Miguel Ferrer as Shang Yu. June Foray as Grandmother Fa, singing voice provided by Marty Nixon. Harvey Fierstein as Yao. Jenny Watanabe as Ling, singing voice provided by Matthew Walder. Jerry Tondo as Chin Po. James Hod as Chi-Fu. Sun Tik-O as Fa Zhou. Pat Morita as the Emperor of China. George Takei as First Ancestor. Miriam Margolyes as the matchmaker. Yeah, Miriam Margolyes. I love it. Freda Fo Shen as Fa Li. James Shigeta as General Li. Frank Welker as Cricky and Khan, Mulan's horse. Chris Sanders as little brother, Mulan's dog. Mary Cat Bergman as various ancestors. And that's it. Additionally, Roger Bumpus and Richard Stephen Horvitz provide additional uncredited voices. Kelly Chen, Coco Lee, and Xiu Quinn Jing voice Mulan in the Cantonese, Taiwanese, Mandarin, and mainland standard versions of the film respectively, while Jackie Chan provided the voice of Li Shang in all three Chinese versions and appeared in the version of promotional music videos of I'll Make a Man Out of You. Taiwanese comedian Jackie Wu provided the voice of Mushu in the Mandarin version. I remember Roger Pop as he was the voice of Squidward with Tentacles in SpongeBob SquarePants. I used to watch that show on Nickelodeon, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about Mulan. So sorry about that. Moving on to production, let's go to development. In 1989, Walt Disney Feature Animation Florida had opened with 40 to 50 employees with its original purpose to produce cartoon shorts and featurettes. However, by late 1993, following several animation duties on Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and The Lion King, Disney executives were convinced to allow the Feature Animation of Florida Studios to produce their first independent film. Around that same time, Disney Feature Animation to develop an interest into Asian-themed legends, beginning with the optioning of several books by children's book author Robert D. Suki, who had a counseling relationship with Disney executive Jay Dyer. Around that same time, a short straight-to-video film titled China Doll about an opposed and miserable Chinese girl who was whisked away by British Prince Charming to happiness in the West was in development. Thomas Schumacher asked Suchi if he had any additional stories, in response to which Suchi turned into a manuscript of the book based on the Chinese poem The Song of Fa Mulan. Ultimately, Disney decided to combine the two separate projects. Following the opening of the Feature Animation Florida Studios, Barry Cook was served as a special effects supervisor since 1982 and had directed the Roger Rabbit cartoon Trail Mix-Up, produced at the Satellite Studio. Upon a lunch invitation with Thomas Schumacher, Cook was offered two projects in development: a Scottish folktale with a dragon or Mulan. Knowledgeable about the existence of dragons in Chinese mythology, Cook suggested adding a dragon to Mulan, in which a week later, Schumacher urged Cook to drop the Scottish project and accept Mulan as his next project. Following this, Cook was immediately assigned as the initial director of the project and cited influences from Charlie Chaplin and David Lean during production. While working as an animator on the gargoyles from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Tony Bancroft was offered to co-direct the film following a recommendation from Ron Minkoff, co-director of The Lion King, to Schumacher, in which he accepted and joined the creative team by early 1995. Okay, that's it. I did the Hunchback of Notre Dame on episode 34, so haven't seen it yet. Go watch it right now. And I assume I also did Beauty and the Beast, Land of the Lion King, Impact's episode before that. I know. Beauty and the Beast was on episode 30. Aladdin was on episode 31, and The Lion King on episode 32. Go check out these videos after you're watching this video. In June 1994, the production team sent a select group of artistic supervisors to China for 3 weeks to take photographs and drawings of local landmarks for inspiration and to soak up local culture. Key members of the creative team at the time: Pam Coates, Barry Cook, Rick Saltier, Robert Walker, and Mark Hand were invited to travel to China as a research trip to study the landscape, people, and history of the original legend. From June 17th to July 2nd, 1994, the research trip flew to Beijing, China, which is where Pam Coates became inspired by the placement of flags on the Great Wall. They also toured Datong, Luzhai, Xi'an, 山竹关, Duohan, and Guning. Man, this is going to be a lot of fun. So that's it for development. We continue production now with writing. In its earliest stages, the story was originally conceived as a Tootsie-like romantic comedy film where Mulan, who was a misfit tomboy who loved her father, is betrothed to Shang, whom she has not met. On her betrothal day, her father Fa Shou carves her destiny on a stone tablet in a family temple, where she shatters in anger, running away to forge her own destiny. In November 1993, Chris Sanders, who had just finished storyboard work on The Lion King, was hoping to work on The Hunchback of Notre Dame until Schumacher appointed him to work on Mulan instead. Acting as head of story, Sanders grew frustrated with the romantic comedy aspect of the story and urged producer Pam Coates to be more faithful to the original legend by having Mulan leave her home because of the love for her father. This convinced the filmmakers to decide to change Mulan's character in order to make her more appealing and selfless. I know, I love it. Sequence 6, in which Mulan takes her father's conscription order, cuts her long hair, and dons her father's armor, served as a pivotal moment in the evolution of Mulan's character. Director Barry Cook explained that the sequence initially started as a song storyboarded by Barry Johnson and redrawn by character designer Chen Yi Chang. Following the story changes to have Mulan leave to save her father, the song was dropped. Storyboard artist and co-head of story Dean DuBois Team Deploy was tasked to revise the sequence and decided to board the sequence with minimal dialogue. Assisted with an existing musical selection from another film score, courtesy of Sanders, the sequence reel was screened for Peter Schneider and Thomas Schumacher, both of whom were impressed. Deploy stated, Sequence 6 was the first sequence that could put into production, and it helped to establish our silent approach. Additionally, General Lee was not originally going to be related to Shang at all, but by changing the story, the filmmakers were able to mirror the stories of both Shang's and Mulan's love for their fathers. As a Christian, Bancroft decided to explore Buddhism within the film. Better sources needed. Sorry, friends. Better source needed. Moving on. Because there was no dragon in the original legend, Mulan did not have animal companions. It's Roy E. Disney who suggested the character of Mushu. Veteran story artist Joe Grant created the cricket character, Cricky. Though animator Barry Temple admitted the directors didn't want him in the movie. The story department didn't want him in the movie. The only people who truly wanted him in the movie were Michael Eisner and Joe Grant, and myself. Because I was assigned the character, I would sit in meetings and they say, well, where's the cricket during all of this? Somebody else would say, oh, to hell the cricket. They felt Quickie was a character who wasn't necessary to tell the story, which is true. Throughout development on the film, Grant would slip sketches of Quickie under the director's door. Okay, that's all for writing. Now we move on to casting. Before production began, the production team sought out Chinese, Japanese, Filipino, or Korean voice talents. Tia Carrere was an early candidate to voice the title character. However, Leah Salonga, who had been the singing voice of Princess Jasmine in Aladdin, was initially cast to provide both Mulan's speaking and singing voices, but the directors did not find her attempt at a deeper speaking voice where Mulan impersonated Ping convincing. Yeah, so Ming Na Wen was brought in to speak the role. Salonga returned to provide the singing voice. Wen herself landed the role after the filmmakers listened to her narration at the beginning of the Joy Luck Club. Oh, got a little bit of an underline here, but yeah, that's okay. Coates reflected on her decision, stating when we heard Ming Na doing that voiceover, we knew we had our Mulan. She has a very likable and lovable voice, and those are the qualities we were looking for. For the role of Mushu, Disney was aiming for top Hollywood talent in the vein of Robin Williams' performance as the genie in Aladdin. The filmmakers initially approached Joe Pesci and Richard Dreyfuss until Michael Eisner considered Eddie Murphy. After accepting the role, Murphy initially balked when he was asked to record at the Disney Studios, but then he asked to record the voice in his basement at his Bubble Hill mansion in Englewood, New Jersey. For the speaking voice of Captain Li Shang, B.D. Wong was hired. Although his singing voice for the song "I'll Make a Man Out of You" was performed by Donny Osmond, who had previously auditioned to be the speaking voice of the title character in Hercules. Osmond's casting originated from a suggestion from the casting director, and throughout recording, Osmond studied Wong's dialogue tapes and aimed to match his inflections and personality. Osmond commented that his sons decided that he had finally made it in show business when he was in a Disney film. Likewise, for the role of Grandmother Fa, June Foray provided the speaking voice, and Marty Nixon supplied the singing voice. Okay. It should be pretty good. Closing out production, we go to animation design. To achieve a harmonious visual look, production designer Hans Bucker and art director Rick Slater, along with Robert Walker and head of backgrounds Robert Stanton, collaborated to establish a proper chronological location for the film in Chinese history. Since there was no general consensus on the time of Mulan's existence, they based the visual design on the Ming and Qing dynasties. An important element of Bakker's design was to turn the art style closer to Chinese painting with watercolor and simpler design, as opposed to the details of The Lion King and The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Bakker further studied more than 35 film directors ranging from the silent era, German expressionism, British and American epics of the 1950s and 60s, and the spaghetti westerns for inspiration for composition, lighting, and staging that would establish settings that enhanced that enhanced the characters. Additional inspiration was found in the early Disney animated films such as Bambi, Pinocchio, and Dumbo to establish a sense of staging. In October 1997, the Walt Disney Company announced a major expansion of its Florida animation operations, constructing a 200,000 square foot, 4-story animation building and the addition of 400 animators to the workforce. Oh boy, I don't want to talk names right here, but yeah, you get the point. Pinocchio was on episode 2, Babe. It was on episode 2, Dumbo in episode 4, and Bambi episode 5. If you haven't seen them yet, go watch them right now. Otherwise, am I right? Am I right? We'll soon find out. To create 2,000 Hun soldiers during the Hun's attack sequence, the production team developed crowd simulation software called Attila. This software allowed thousands of unique characters to move anonymously. Yeah, to move another. So that's something. A variant of the program called Dynasty was used in the final battle sequence to create a crowd of 3,000 in the Forbidden City. Pixar's photorealistic Open API RenderMan was used to render the crowd. Another software developed for this movie was Fog Plane, which was used to add depth to flat two-dimensional painting. Although developed late in the production progress, Fog Plane was used in 5 shots, including the dramatic sequence which features the Great Wall of China and the final battle sequence when Mulan runs to the Forbidden City. During the scene in which the citizens of China are bowing to Mulan, the crowd is a panoramic film of real people bowing. It was edited into the animated foreground of the scene. Okay. Oh boy. Now this is something I never heard of before. But wait, about Pinocchio, Bambi, Pinocchio, Dumbo. Yes, I was right. Pinocchio episode 2, Dumbo episode 4, and Bambi episode 5. Again, go check out these videos right now. If you're not watching this video, I highly recommend you could do so. Moving on though, that's it for Russian. Now we move on to music. In March 1994, Steven Schwartz was attached to compose the lyrics and music for the songs for the film. Following the research trip to China in 1994, Schwartz was contacted by former Disney Studio chairman Jeffrey Katzenberg to compose songs for The Prince of Egypt, which he agreed. And I already did over on my DreamWorks animation series on episode 2, so if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it right now. So head over to the DreamWorks side of movie history to watch right now. Yeah, moving on. Peter Schneider, then president of Walt Disney Feature Animation, threatened to have Schwartz's name removed from any publicity materials for Pocahontas and The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Again, Pocahontas episode was on episode 34, was on episode 33, so if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it right now. Michael Eisner phoned Schwartz and urged to back out of his commitment to DreamWorks, but he refused and left the project. Oh, curse you, DreamWorks! How could you? Moving on. After Schwartz's departure, his 3 songs, Written in Stone, Destiny, and China Doll, were dropped in mid-story and character changes by 1995. Shortly after, Disney Music executive Chris Montana heard Matthew Wilder's demo for a stage musical adaptation of Anne Rice's Cry to Heaven, and selected Wilder to replace Schwartz. In July 1997, David Zippel joined to write the lyrics. The film featured 5 songs composed by Wilder and Zippel, with the 6th originally planned for Mushu, but dropped following Eddie Murphy's involvement with the character. No, goodbye, friends. Although Danny Elfman and Thomas Newman were considered to score the film, English composer Rachel Portman was selected as the film composer. However, Portman became pregnant during production and decided to back out. Following Portman's departure, Randy Elderman, whose Dragon Heart theme was used in the trailer, and Kitaro were considered until Jerry Goldsmith became available and signed on after dropping out of a project. The film's soundtrack is credited for starting the career of pop singer Christina Aguilera, whose first song to be released in the United States was her rendition of Reflection, the first single for the Mulan soundtrack. The song and Aguilera's vocals were so well received that it landed her a recording contract with RCA Records In 1999, she would go on to release her self-titled debut album, on which Reflection was also included. The pop version of Reflection has a Polish version, Lustro, performed by Edia Gordiak, and two Spanish versions for Spain, performed by Balu, and Latin America, performed by Lucero. Other national versions include a Brazilian Portuguese version by Sandy Jr., also as Imagine, and a Korean version performed by Lina Park, and a Mandarin version by Coco Lee. The music featured during the haircut scene, titled Mulan's Decision, is different in the soundtrack album. The soundtrack album uses an orchestrated score, while the movie uses heavy synthesizer music. The synthesizer version is available on the limited edition CDs Salonga, on the limited edition CD. Salonga, who often sings movie music in her concerts, has done a Disney medley which climaxes with an expanded version of Reflection, not the same as those in Aguilera's version. Salonga also provided the singing voice for Mulan in the film's sequel, Mulan 2. Oh boy, it's gonna be good. And that's it for music. Moving on to release. Because of the disappointing box office performances of The Hunchback of Notre Dame and Hercules, Disney restricted its marketing campaign for Mulan, spending $30 million on promotional advertisements compared to more than $60 million for Hercules the year before. Instead of the lavish media event premieres of Pocahontas in Central Park and the Electric Light Parade on Fifth Avenue for Hercules, Disney opted to premiere the film on June 5th, 1998 at the Hollywood Bowl, complete with Chinese lanterns and fortune cookies. 2 days before the general release, McDonald's launched its promotional campaign by including one of 8 toys free with the purchase of a Happy Meal. The promotion also included Szechuan sauce for its chicken McNuggets, which would be referenced in the 2017 episode of the Adult Swim series Rick and Morty, and subsequently brought back by McDonald's as a promotional item related to that show. Whoa, unbelievable. That was very crazy. In collaboration with Disney, Hyperion Books published The Art of Mulan, authored by Jeff Curdy, which chronicled the production of the film. In addition, with its publication, Hyperion Books also issued a collector's folding accordion book of the ancient poem that inspired the film. On August 18, 1998, around 3,700 backpacks and 1,800 pieces of luggage were recalled back to the manufacturer. Pyramid of Sex Accessories Incorporated, which, when it was discovered, they contained lead-based paint. Oh no. Bad recall, my friends, bad recall. Moving over to home media. The film was first released on VHS on February 2nd, 1999 as part of the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection lineup. Mulan was released on November 9th, 1999 as a Walt Disney limited issue for a limited 60-day time period before going into moratorium. On February 1st, 2000, it was re-released on VHS and DVD as part of the Walt Disney Gold Classic Collection lineup. The VHS and DVD were accompanied by 2 music videos, Reflection and True to Your Heart, while the DVD additionally contained the theatrical trailer and character artwork. The Gold Collection release was returned into the Disney Vault on January 31st, 2002. On October 26, 2004, Walt Disney Home Entertainment re-released a restore print of Mulan on VHS as a 2-disc special edition DVD. In March 2013, Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment released Mulan and Mulan 2 on Blu-ray and DVD to coincide with the film's 15th anniversary. In September 2017, Mulan became available to Netflix users through their streaming service. As in November 2018, Mulan became available to Disney Plus launch day. Mulan was released on 4K Blu-ray on November 10, 2020. Alright. That's it for now. Whew. And now we go to reception, starting with box office. Mulan grossed $22.8 million in its opening weekend, ranking second behind The X-Files. It went on to gross $120 million in the United States and Canada combined, and $304 million worldwide, making it the second highest grossing family film of the year, behind A Bug's Life, and the 7th highest grossing film of the year overall. While Mulan domestically outgrossed the previous 2 Disney animated films which had preceded it, The Hunchback of Notre Dame and Hercules, its box office returns failed to match those of the Disney films from the first half of the Renaissance, such as Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and The Lion King. Internationally, its highest grossing releases included those in the United Kingdom, $14.6 million, and France, $10.2 million. Continuing on, we go to critical reception. As a long one, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for it. It's going to be a long one, my friends. The review aggregator website, Rotten Tomatoes, gave the film an approval rating of 86% based on 78 reviews, with an average rating of 7.60 out of 10. The site's consensus reads, exploring themes of family, duty, and honor. Mulan breaks new ground as a Disney film, while still bringing vibrant animation and sprightly characters to the screen. In a 2009 countdown, Rotten Tomatoes ranked it 24th out of the 50 canonical animated Disney features. On Metacritic, the film has a score of 71 out of 100, based on 24 critics indicating generally favorable reviews. CinemaScore reported that audiences gave the film a rare A+ grade. Whoa, on an A+F scale. Totally rare. Roger Ebert, reviewing for the Chicago Sun-Times, gave Mulan 3.5 stars out of 4. In his written review, he said that Mulan is an impressive achievement, with a story and treatment ranking with Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King. Likewise, Chase Berardinelli of Real Views awarded the film 3.5 stars out of 4, praising the lead character, its theme of war, and the animation. He concluded that adults will appreciate the depth of characterization, while kids will love Mulan's sidekick, a colorful dragon named Mushu. Everyone will be entertained by the fast-moving plot and rich animation. Owen Gleiberman of Entertainment Weekly graded the film a B+, writing vividly animated with a bursting palette that evokes both wintry grandeur and decorative splendor of ancient China. Mulan is artful and satisfying in its light removable way. Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune described the film as a big disappointment when compared to the studio's other recent films about a female hero searching for independence. He was further critical of Mulan's characterization in comparison to Ariel and Belle, and claimed the design of the film does not take advantage of the inspiration provided by classic Chinese artists, and the songs are not memorable. Reviewing the film for the Los Angeles Times, Keaton Turan wrote, Mulan has its accomplishments, but unlike the best of Disney's output, it comes off as more manufactured than magical. While he praised the title character, he highlighted that the by now standard hip patter prepare for jokes about cross-dressing is so tepid that not even five credited writers can revive it. And the songs by Matthew Wilder and David Zippel, with Leah Salonga and Donny Osmond singing for the leads, lack the spark that Zippel's lyrics brought to the underappreciated Hercules. Ed Gonzalez of Slant Magazine criticized the film as soulless in its portrayal of East Asian society. Janet Maslin of the New York Times criticized the lack of detail in the background art and described it as, the most inert and formulaic of recent Disney animated films. This movie was also the subject of comment from feminist critics. Mimi Guyan says the film pokes fun at the ultimately repressive gender roles that seek to make Mulan a domesticated creature. Nadia Labi agreed, saying there is a lyric in the film that gives the lie to the bravado of the entire girl power movement. She pointed out that Mulan needed to become a boy in order to accomplish what she did. Kathleen Carolyn, an assistant professor of English at the University of Oregon, also criticized the film's portrayal of gender roles. In order to even imagine female heroism, we're placing it in the realm of fantasy. Pam Coates, the producer of Mulan, says that the film aims to present a character who exhibits both masculine and feminine influences, being both physically and mentally strong. Oh boy. And that's it for a critical reception. Now we close out reception with accolades. Mulan won several Emmy Awards, including Best Animated Feature and Individual Achievement Awards to Pam Coates for producing, Barry Cook and Tony Bancroft for directing, Rita Hsiao, Christopher Sanders, Philip Lazebnik, Raymond Singer, and Eugenia Boswell-Singer for writing, Chris Sanders for storyboarding, Hans Bacher for production design, David Tidwell for effects animation, Ming-Na for voice acting the character of Mulan. Ming-Na wins because that. Ruben A. Aquino for character animation, and Matthew Wilder, David Zippel, and Jerry Goldsmith for music. Tom Bancroft and Mark Hamill were also nominated for an Emmy Award for character animation. The musical score also received significant praise. Jerry Goldsmith won the 1999 BMI Film Music Award. Love it. Goldsmith was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Original Musical Score, but lost to Stephen Warbeck's score for Shakespeare in Love. Goldsmith was nominated for the Golden Globe for Best Original Score. Matthew Weider and David Zippel were nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Original Song Reflection. They were beaten by The Truman Show and The Prayer from Quest for Camelot, respectively. No, they were beaten by The Truman Show and The Prayer from Quest for Camelot, respectively. In 2008, the film was one of 50 nominees listed on the ballot for the American Film Institute's top 10 greatest American animated movies. Oh boy. So that's it. That's it. Now we close out reception. Now we can truly close out reception with reception in China. No. Disney was keen to promote Mulan to the Chinese, hoping to replicate their success with the 1994 film The Lion King, which was one of the country's highest grossing Western films at the time. Disney also hoped it might smooth over relations with the Chinese government, which had soared after the rates of Kundun, a Disney-funded biography of the Dalai Lama that the Chinese government considered politically provocative. China had threatened to curtail business negotiations with Disney over that film, and as the government only accepted 10 foreign films to be shown in China each year, Mulan's chances of being accepted were low. Finally, after a year's delay, the Chinese government did allow the film for a limited Chinese release, but only after the Chinese New Year, so as to ensure that local films dominated the more lucrative holiday market. Box office income was low due to both the unfavorable release date and rampant piracy. Chinese people also complained about Mulan's depiction as too foreign-looking and the story as too different from the myths. Oh boy. And that's it for reception. Now let's go to Legacy. Starting with video game. A Windows, Macintosh, and PlayStation point-and-click adventure interactive storybook based on the film Disney's animated storybook Mulan, titled Disney Story Studio Mulan on PlayStation. Was released on December 15, 1999. The game was developed by Media Station for computers and Revolution Studios under the name Kids Revolution for PlayStation. The game was met with generally positive reception and holds a 70.67% average rating at the review aggregator website Game Rankings. Okay, moving on to live-action adaptation. Walt Disney Pictures first expressed interest in a live-action adaptation of Mulan in the 2000s. Zhang Ziyi was to star in it, and Chuck Russell was chosen as the director. The film was originally planned to start filming in October 2010, but was eventually canceled. In 2015, Disney again began developing a live-action remake. And Elizabeth Martin and Lauren Hinick's script treatment reportedly feature while a white merchant who falls in love with Mulan has drawn into a central role in the country's conflict with the Huns. According to a Vanity Fair source, the spec script was only a jumping off point, and all main characters will in fact be Chinese. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and Jurassic World screenwriters Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver are to rewrite Hinek and Martin's screenplay, while Chris Bender, J.C. Spink, and Jason Reed with Chris Bender, J.C. Spink, and Jason Reed producing. In February 2017, it was announced that Nikki Caro would direct the live-action adaptation of the 1998 animated film. The casting process of the Chinese actress to portray the heroine began in October 2016. The film was originally scheduled to be released on November 2nd, 2018, but was later taken off the release date with The Nutcracker and the Four Realms taking its old slot. On November 29th, 2017, Liu Yifei was cast as the titular character. The film had its Hollywood premiere on March 9, 2020. Disney originally scheduled the film to be released in theaters on March 27, 2020. However, this was pushed back to July 24th, and then August 21st. The film's theatrical release was canceled in the United States, and it would instead have its premiere for a premium fee on Disney Plus on September 4, 2020. It will still be released theatrically in countries where theaters have reopened, such as China, as well as in other countries that do not have Disney Plus. Donnie Yen was cast as Commander Tung, a mentor and teacher to Mulan. Following him, Jet Li joined the film as the Emperor of China. Gong Li was cast as a villain, a witch, and Xia Tang was announced to play Mulan's sister. The next month, Utkarsh Ambudkar was cast as Sketch, con artist, and Rong Yuan was cast as Sergeant Qing, the second in command of the Imperial Regiment. In June, Yo Sun-an was cast as Chen Honghui, a confident and ambitious recruit who becomes Mulan's love interest. In July, Jason Scott Lee joined the cast as Bori Khan, a secondary villain and warrior seeking revenge. In August 2018, Sama, Rosalind Chow, Cheng Pei Pei, Nelson Lee, Jimmy Wong, and Joa Moa were added to the cast. Okay. that's pretty much it. Finally, let's close out this episode with references in Disney Media to close out the legacy. Although she is royalty neither by birth nor marriage, her husband is merely a high-ranking military officer. Mulan is part of the Disney Princess Media franchise. Mulan was the last addition to the lineup until Princess Tiana for The Princess and the Frog was added in 2009. 11 years later, in the film Lilo and Stitch, Nani has a poster of Mulan in her room. Mulan is also present in the Disney and Square Enix video game series Kingdom Hearts. In the first Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Mushu is a summonable character. And in Kingdom Hearts 2, the movie is featured as a playable world named the Land of Dragons, with the plot being changed to accommodate the game's characters, Sora, Donald, and Goofy, and Mulan both as herself and as Pink, able to join the player's party as a skilled sword fighter. After Jamie Chung plays a live-action version of Mulan in the second, third, and fifth seasons of the ABC television series Once Upon a Time. So, yeah, that's everything you need to know, and that's the end of Mulan! Yay! Final rating for the film. I gotta say, Mulan is amazing. No doubt about that. It's definitely one of the best Disney movies of all time. I gotta say, when it comes to the animation and high quality, I gotta say, Mulan is definitely one of the most iconic Disney movies of all time. I'm so happy to say about this. It's definitely worth a wait. And so that's being said, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give Mulan a score of 9 out of 10. Awesome! This is awesome! Totally amazing. That's right, an amazing movie. Anything is possible to my friends. With that being said, Mulan is definitely one of the best movies of all time. Bar 9, bottom line, period, the end. Congratulations, Mulan. You deserve it. However, it's just my personal conservative opinion. Feel free to read this video and 8,000 opinions in the comment section below. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching another episode of Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. Be on the lookout for the next episode of Movie History, DreamWorks Animation coming soon. That episode will be about Over the Hedge. Be on the lookout for that as well. And we'll see you for Route 2 for San Carlos History Told coming out later today as we take a look at MTV, which is requested by Hollow. So don't miss it, guys. Also, be on the lookout for Samurai Supremacy as Patsa Pepe takes on Hugger Romance Style. So don't miss it, guys. The next episode of Logo History 2 is coming soon. That episode will be about PlayStation, TV Cultura, WRL TV, Major League Baseball, Clan TVE, Canal Panda, Savant Brands, Miraculous Hits, Ladybug, Cat Noir, and KSPS TV. So be on the lookout for that as well. And also be on the lookout for Moshi Monster Biography coming soon. That episode will be about Astro, the marvelous Meowstronaut. That's right, friends. Moshi Monster Biography is back in full swing, ladies and gentlemen, after nearly 3 weeks on hiatus. So stay tuned for that coming soon. And also be on the lookout for Season 2, Day 5 of the Moshi Monster League coming soon. And don't forget about the Adams Monster Show dropping tomorrow for episode 22. It'll be live, so don't miss it, guys. Otherwise, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching. I'm Miguel Sanchez, you yourself, and I'll see you next time on Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios. Be on the lookout for the next episode coming soon. Episode 37 is about Tarzan. That's our friends, Tarzan, the next episode, as we're almost out of the 1990s. Oh my gosh, soon we're going to be in the 2000s. Get ready, my friends, because the legend is about to go well. We're heading straight to the jungle for the next episode, Tarzan, next time on Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios. So please stay tuned for it. Coming soon. Until then, if you want to go catch up on past episodes, we got a playlist for you from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs all the way up to Mulan. So go check it out right now. The link to the playlist, it's up there on the top right corner of the screen. So click on that link and check it out right now. Catch up on all past episodes anytime, anywhere. Definitely go do so right now. For now, though, I gotta end it right here. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again real soon for episode 37 as we take a look at Tarzan. Until then, please remember to leave a like, share this video with your friends, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, turn on notifications to this video. Please subscribe to the notifications to this video for me as we're on the road to 1,700 subscribers. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Talk to you guys again next time for Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios. I'm Miguel Sanchez. Thank you so much for watching. Coming to you from Visalia, California. Have a great rest of your day. Like, favorite, subscribe. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys in another video. Laters!